in Java, when programming, you might want to store some values in your memory. And by memory, I mean in the memory of the computer. Now, in order to do that, we use variables. Now, variables point to locations in the system memory. Before now, we have not used any variable in our program. Now, Java is statically typed. That means you must declare the type of the variable before using it. Now, what do I mean by the type of the variable? Now, in programming, you have different types of values. You have a string, you have integer, you have decimal places. And all of these are treated differently. So if you want to save a decimal digit, you have to tell Java that I am coming to save a decimal digit. If you're coming to save someone's name, you tell Java that I am coming to save someone's name. So for example, if you want to log into a website and they ask for your email address or for your name, you don't go ahead and put your phone number, because your name is comprised of characters and a phone number is comprised of numbers. So characters and numbers are of different types. So in Java, if you want to use characters, you will tell it, hey Java, I am coming with characters. This variable is only going to store characters. And if you want to store numbers, you will tell it, okay Java, this particular variable I created is only going to store numbers. So what is the command to tell Java that a variable stores only numbers? Now we're going to be working inside the main method. So you have our home, and by the way, you mustn't name your class home. Like I told you, this is a keyword, but this home is not a keyword. It's just the name of the class. Like I told you, you can design Java the same way you see real world objects. So this can be the name of the object. Then you now have the attributes and actions. While you have our main method, that is the first method that is being run. So look at this as, let's give an example. Let's say we have a class called human. Now, a human can do different things, right? Yes. But let's say there's one main method, and all the main method does is cry, because that's the first thing a human being does in the world. When a baby is given birth to, the baby cries. That does not mean the baby cannot sleep, but that's the first thing the baby does. So you can put cry in the main method of a human. So that's just an example to show you how these methods work. You can have hundreds of methods in your class. This class represents the whole body of the object. So this class can represent a house or a human being. If it's a house, you can have methods like close the door, close front door, or switch on electricity. If the name of the class is a car, you can have switch on, apply brakes, and if it's a house, you can have attributes like color of the house, height of the house. Now variables can be seen as attributes. So to declare a variable in a class, all we need to do is declare it here. So I can say int age. Now what this has done is to create a variable called age, and the age has a type int. In Java, int represents integers, numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So I created a variable age which will only store numbers. Now you have our class. Our class opens here and closes here. You have our variable age. We have our method that opens here and closes here. Now this is our variable that belongs to this class. This variable can be accessed by other methods. So let's say we have public static void say hi. As you can see, I can give the method any name. So I'll add this to it, static. Now don't worry about the static, I'll explain it, but just know that this age is an integer. So I'll explain what static means. So in here I can say age is equal to 40. Over here I can say age is equal to 403. And there you have it. I can access age from here and from here because this belongs to the whole class. Now if you notice, I keep on ending statements with semicolon. In Java, you need to end a statement with semicolon. Now some people make the mistake of putting semicolon after a method. Don't do that. Don't do this. That causes a problem. Don't do that. It's after statements. You don't put semicolon after methods or after classes, but after statements like this, creating a variable or printing out a value. Now, a variable can also belong to a method. So this variable now belongs to the class. So all methods in this class can access this variable. Now we can have a variable that only belongs to a method. So let's say I have a variable called int height. Now I have a variable here called int height, and I can say height is equal to 7. If I come over here and I say height, it is colored red because it cannot see it. Any modern IDE gives error messages and colors to explain to you what is going on. So in IntelliJ, most times once you see red, then there's a problem. So in this situation, it doesn't know any variable called height, because when you write height, it looks inside here. It can't say height, and it says, oh, probably there's a variable called height in this class. So it comes up here and doesn't see height. Even though height is stated inside the main method, it can't access it because this height belongs to the main method. This age belongs to the class. So this height is called a local variable. It belongs locally in between this, from here to here. So it can be accessed outside. The same thing goes if I declare a variable inside here. It can't be accessed here. Now, the purpose of static will be explained when I'm explaining classes. But for now, what we need to understand is that we have the types of a variable, and we have learned about int. So now what happens when I say a variable is int and I decide to give it a decimal place value. So let's remove this age and deal with only local variables. So we have a local variable height. And the type of this height is int. So let's decide that I want to give it a height of 7.7. I told you in IntelliJ or your IDEs like NetBeans or Eclipse, you see a red line. That red line is saying that, hey, you told me you're only going to give me whole numbers, but now you're giving me a decimal place value. I can't accept that. In fact, you won't even be able to run the program. If you run it, you get a crash. Of course, most beginners in Java normally fear having crashes, but be calm and understand the situation. If you hover over this, you'll see the error. It said required integer but found double. What does double mean? Double is the data type for you to accept decimal places. So if you come over here and write double, you can now accept decimal places. What if I decide, instead of giving it a height, I come here and say Japan. Now in Java, any value in between double quotation is referred to as a string. So now I'm giving the double a string and it's not accepting that. So if I want to assign strings to height, I need to make height a string. So I say string and the red line goes away. So in Java, you have the variable name and the variable type. The variable type comes before the variable name. So if you want to know the type of the variable, just look before it. So here you have string height. You have different variable types in Java, and I'll put a link below for you to go through them because they are numerous. You also have a type called Boolean. Boolean only collects values true or false. So I can say Boolean check is equal to true. So true is a keyword in Java. As you can see, it's colored the same color as all these keywords here. So Boolean collects true or false, nothing else. I can't come here and give it a special string. Nigeria, nope, it won't collect that. So let me ask you a question. If I wanted check to collect strings, what do I do now to stop this error? Simple, I just simply change this to a string since I want it to collect strings. And that's it. Now, you know that we're printing hello world. What if I wanted to print hello world Nigeria? So let's put country. I want to work with a variable. I'll simply come here. You see this double quotation? I'll put plus. I can say plus Lemubit students, and I run it. It will print, but there will be a problem here. As you can see, you printed hello world Lemobit students. But there was no space between the world and the Lemobit, because in the D of the hello world, there wasn't any gap given. So I can add a space. So hello world plus a space plus Lemobit students. So if I run it, you can see hello world Lemobit students. But I can replace this Lemobit students with a variable also, that is a string. Now if you see country, what do you think this will print out? It will print out hello world Nigeria, because it prints out hello world, prints out space, then prints out country, the variable name country. So it comes up and says, hey, who has this name country? It says, hey, I'm the one. So what is your value? Nigeria. But if I delete this, it immediately turns red, because Java says, hey, I can't see any variable called country. So the variable helps us store values in memory, and we can manipulate it. You can also have int age is equal to 5, and you can put age here, and it will print it as well. Hello world 5. You could even do some operations like age times 2. So let's say I just want to remove this hello world, and I just want to write age times 5. So age times 5 is what? That's 25. Hope I'm correct. So that is it. 5 times 5. That is age. 5 times 5. I can also say age times 4. So you get it. You can do what you want. The reason you can do this is because age is an integer. Let's say you have string name is equal to John. I can't say name times 4 because you cannot multiply a string. You can't say your name times 4, right? But when you say age is a number. You can multiply a number by 4. So these are the basics of integers and numbers in Java. And next we'll go on to other concepts. If you do like this video, please like and subscribe, and expect more wonderful tutorials like this.